It'll be real ugly. All right, game 5. I feel like our guys are nice and fresh going into the game. We got some work in last week, got some good work in this week as well. We're ready to roll and travel down there tomorrow. We've got a little personnel news that I know Jerry is always happy with, that Rodney Hammond will be available for this weekend as well. So he's practiced up and ready to roll, and we're excited as a coaching staff, as a team, that he is back, and it's a great thing for everybody. But we're facing a great North Carolina football team. Regardless of what you guys think, you watch the tape, you put it on. They're talented. They can run. They can, they've got all the tools, and we'll have our hands full as we go down there. So we're prepared for a battle in Chapel Hill. So, questions?
Was reinstatement something you had been working toward or hoping was a possibility this whole time?
Yeah, it's something we're hoping, and we're happy that he's back playing for us.
Was
ready to roll.
Was there an appeal of some sort? He was declared ineligible to start the season.
Hey, right now he's ready to play. That's all I care about. That's all we're going to focus on, and we're going to focus on North Carolina. So it doesn't matter.
Well, how
And what does he add? What does he bring to that group with Desmond?
He brings a lot. I mean, he brings a lot. Obviously, Desmond's the guy right now as a starter, but Rodney's been, he's been practicing every day since it happened, and he'll be ready to roll.
How much you plan on using him?
I don't know. See how we go.
How has he stayed focused? You talk about focusing on his opponent, as far as practices and what he's been able to do. How have you seen him take?
He's been great, and he's been mature, and it's weird. You don't know when this is going to happen, but I grabbed him. I don't know if it was over the weekend, and just said, "You need to take every rep. We're playing the best." And he was on the scout team on Tuesday, you need to go out there and play and be that guy. Give us the best possible look. You're the guy. I want you taking every rep. And he went out there Tuesday. He got after it, and obviously, things happen for a reason, so he's got some good work in.
How much has he been practicing?
Every day.
Is he getting our reps the last 4 or 5 weeks?
He gets reps. Yep. Okay, what do you got for me? Come on, Andrew. Yes, he hasn't made a play all year. We got a lot of players that made plays. He hasn't made a play all year, so.
Are you excited to have I'm assuming you're excited to have Desmond back for this game. How has he looked in practice?
He's looked great. He's looked like he's like a new man. He's back, and he was smart for us to hold him out last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. Yeah, he's ready to roll.
Coach, how does it help having this bye week last week going into UNC? Obviously, it's not easy to play in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, never easy. It's never easy to play anywhere or play anybody, but I think the open week helps us a little bit. I think the first thing it helps you with freshness. Some people say, does it help you? You were on a run, you like to take a break, but I think that's all mentality and irrelevant as far as not playing last week. We practice hard every day. I think it's kind of how we practice, and our guys are ready to go.
During Youngstown State week, you said you were going to bring a little bit more of an edge. Did you have to keep that up during the bye week to keep everyone focused, or are the guys pretty self-motivated?
I think they're self-motivated. I think they know what's in front of them, but you're always going to keep an edge somehow, some way. So we'll have an edge going down there and a chip on our shoulders like we should, because we haven't really done anything yet. I mean, what have we done? So
2019 was the first time Pitt beat Carolina since joining the ACC, and I remember leading up to that year, the players felt a certain way about it. They were frustrated by having played Carolina and lost year after year. Do you sense from the players that they still have a certain kind of feeling about North Carolina?
Not really. I mean, it's another opponent. What's happened in the past is irrelevant, whether it's a win here at home or a win there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, everything in the past is irrelevant. And I think that's the important thing to take. It doesn't matter. This is a 2024 team. We can't compare 24 to 23 or to 22 or 21 or 18. It doesn't really matter. I mean, all the focus is on this game, this team, and what we present as we go down there. North Carolina's always been a good team since I've been here. They've had talented quarterbacks from Sam Howell to Trubisky to May. I mean, that's a talented football team, and they got talent all over the place.
That left guard spot, Ryan and Jason have played there a little bit. What have you seen from both of those guys, good and bad, over these 4 weeks?
I think Jason done a great job filling in for Ryan. So we're excited about what he's done, and it's a next man up mentality, and kind of see what happens on Saturday.
Corey told us about, you guys are really emphasizing tackling drills against Hampton. How valuable gang tackling, how big is that gonna be on Saturday?
It's gonna be big. I mean, they wanna run the ball again, trust me, they know what we look like on defense and, our structure of our defense, so they're gonna throw the ball, and so it won't be just a run fest where they're just, ramming him up in there in the bad boxes. They'll pick their poison, they'll have RPOs, and they can do it all, so, but, it doesn't matter tackling on him. He's a 220-pound back, you don't see many of those. Kind of reminds me of the Kiner kid from Cincinnati. He's physical, and we gotta get him on the ground, and that's the most important thing, is tackling. So we just emphasize a little more, but we can emphasize tackling, every week.
They don't have a quarterback like May or Trubisky anymore, but have they changed their philosophy a little bit?
Well, they've got a different coordinator. I mean, Chip Lindsey's your coordinator now compared to Paul Longo before that, and, I remember before that. But, the philosophy's no different. I mean, they're gonna be an up-tempo, they'll slow it down, they'll look to the sideline, do all the things that, tempo teams do. They're about 43% fast. I mean, so they're gonna run, fast tempo, probably 43% of the time, something like that. And, so we're ready for whatever they give us. We practice tempo every day, so we're good.
Are they as fast as you are?
At times, I would say they're the fastest team we've faced this year. They'll try to go tempo.
Coach, in these games before the bye, you guys battled back, showed you were able to come out on top in that fourth quarter. Has there been any conversation with the guys about emphasizing coming out and starting faster this week?
Not really. I hate to, psychologically, I hate to sit there and say start fast, because I say, hey, we gotta start fast, and you come out and they go down and score, we go 3 and out. Then what's our kids thinking? Oh, we didn't start fast, we lost. It doesn't matter. It matters to go out and play 60 minutes and do the best we can every play for 4 quarters. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think when you start to set those, we have to start fast, and you don't, then you set yourself up for failure.
You've had a bunch of guys, a bunch of receivers go over 100 yards at different points this season. I mean, have you seen that reflected in coverages? Like, defenses aren't able to say double Kanate or double Gavin or Kenny?
Yeah, I mean, I think in today's football, it's hard to double anybody, okay? I mean, based on a route concept, you might get it. Based on, what your checks were, you might get a safety in a corner on them or backer and a safety. But it's hard to double anybody, these days. And if you do, you're leaving something wide open. Everybody's got players. I mean, there's 11 out there. But there's every once in a while you'll see somebody try to think they're going to go over here. But I think we've spread it around it. Who are you going to double? I mean, you're going to double Kenny. You got Kanate on the other side. You got Poppy. I mean, it's hard to double anybody. Nowadays, I think in college football.
Yeah, we saw it first on special teams. What are the traits about Miles that allows him to make those type of impact plays?
He's just got great instincts. I mean, he's just, he's a football player. He's around the ball. Same thing on defense, whether it's defense or special teams. And again, he's, some people can go block punts. He's had a knack of just getting punts. He got one a year ago. I'm sure they'll know where 31 is. So we got other guys that we think are pretty good at also. I mean, it's just, you can have great athletic ability, but when you have the instincts to put your hands and have that, eye-hand coordination, he's got that. I mean, he finds a way. I wish I could say we're great coaches, but he's put good players in position to make plays, and Heem has been able to do that.
What's PJ gonna do on not being able to play that first half? Is he gonna hold him down?
You have to hold him down to begin with, like he's hyper to begin with, so I don't know. We might leave him in a locker room for the first half. He's hard to control.
You talked about
He's
Sean
great kid.
maybe being able to play this weekend. I mean,
Who will say?
Sean Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
What would he bring if he's able to go on Saturday?
He hadn't practiced for a while, so if he is available, he'll help us out if we think he's. We'll see what he looks like at game time.
Production and defensive tackles and interesting. I mean, you guys have had really productive guys, Cansey and Kleiman and whatnot, but that's not always the case. Do you see a guy in this group who maybe, because you haven't gotten a lot of production out of those guys yet, do you see a guy who could maybe make a breakout here over the next 8 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy, that's got a chance to do that right now is just because of his motor and his intensity is Nick James. I mean, he's the guy, I think I might have mentioned it a couple weeks ago, like he's our best guy right now. So we've got a lot of faith in what he's got ability-wise. And so I would say it'd be him. Kai Johnson's he's got the ability. I won't tell you anything I haven't, told him. It's just that constant motor. Give it to me all day long. He's got the ability to do a lot. I want to see it all the time.
What can Rodney offer as a pace difference from what Dez does? Their styles and how you guys are very familiar with Rodney and Dez is integrated and stuff. But this is the first time you'll see Rodney actively working in this offense.
Yeah, I mean that's something we'll find out. We'll find out how he looks in this offense. We're used to seeing him with 2 tight ends, and running dive plays that you guys love. You know, I think he can be special like Dez in this offense. We'll find out Saturday.
You guys use Dez a lot in the passing game. Has Rodney grown in how you guys need him to grow in the passing game in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, Rodney's been good with ball skills out of the backfield to begin with. I mean, he'll go back to the ACC championship. I can still see him running down that far sideline. You know, he's got ball skills out of the backfield, so he can do it all. He was all through spring ball. It's not like it's a new offense Tuesday or Wednesday. He's a smart football player too.
When exactly did you guys learn that he would be eligible this week? Was it Monday, Tuesday, or
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
With the two really athletic linebackers like Lewis and Biles, does that kind of counteract a screen-heavy offense? We've probably worked more screens than I've ever seen in my entire life. Coach Bates has been all over that as far as just figuring out what they're doing screen-wise, and we've got a pretty good plan for the screens. They got guys. They're going to get their linemen down the field. I mean, it's not like it's a screen throwing it out there. It's not like a quick bubble. It's like they're getting their linemen down the field on some of these what we call double screens. They do an outstanding job. They're a great screen team, as good as you face, and that's why we've emphasized it so much. I mean, they're really good in the screen game.
Rasheem said he
And the reverse game and all the trick plays they've got flea flickers. Remember they hit one on us last year. It's a reverse flea flicker, pitch back to the quarterback. But we've worked it all. We've seen 2 years worth of stuff on them.
Rasheem told us that he, before the season, wrote some goals down for himself, and he's already had to cross a few of those off because he's already met it. He's had to write new goals. Has he exceeded your expectations for where he would be 4 games in?
Not yet. I mean, I'm waiting for him to get a couple more big sacks. How about an interception for a touchdown? I mean, hopefully, he obviously didn't set his goals very high, but we set goals every week. So, he's got more in him. He will make more plays, and he's got the ability to be really good. I'd like to see him get an interception. Kyle's got 2 already, so I'm just kind of, let's get another one.
You gotta pit them against each other, tell them to compete a little bit for.
Hopefully they are. I mean, their goal should be both of them to be, all ACC linebackers. It comes down to, if you don't get the ACC Player of the Week, they're going to forget about you. How have you shined? And I hope they'll compete against each other every day. It'd be great.
For a guy in his 70s, Mac Braun is kind of a progressive coach with trick plays and flea flickers. Is that kind of unusual to see a guy who's been in football that long to go off the charts that much?
Not really. I mean, Mac's a smart football coach. He knows what hurts defenses, and he lets Chip Lindsey do his job. Just like I let Cade and Coach Bates do their job. So no, that doesn't surprise me. He's he's just like us, Jerry.
In terms of like letting Cade do his job, the trust you put in him since he's joined the program. When you were looking for a new offensive coordinator, was that kind of always the plan to kind of give them the keys to the offense, or what did he do to kind of earn that trust from you, kind of through the hiring process early?
Yeah, I know you're new. You're probably I don't see you all the time.
Yeah.
But like the keys, the keys have never been in my pocket.
No, I'm not
My
saying
keys,
that.
I might have a key in my pocket for defense, but offensively, he's got the keys. And every coordinator since Jim Chaney, who's a legend, has had the keys.
But you've also gone like all in on the offensive side of the ball. He's hired his own assistants. He's brought in players that he's coached before. Like that faith, I guess, where did that come from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's how you better be. I mean, we hired the entire staff. It wasn't like he brought his guys in. I never talked to him. Like it was going to be like, let me check out character. I mean, I know you like him as a football coach. You better fit in Pittsburgh. And that whole crew has done an unbelievable job. It's not just Cade. I love it. I love everybody on the offensive staff. It's been great. So he picked the right guys, and again, we went through. Was that all your first choices? I don't know, but we did our homework to make sure we got the exact best fit for the offense. So I don't know if I answered your question, but did I?
Well, I guess was there anything specific that kind of you were like, all right, like that he earned your trust, I guess, in a way.
He when I hire the guy and give him the keys, there's trust.
Yeah.
And you can say trust is earned, but you better be pretty confident when you hire a guy like that you trust him. Like that's how it is. Period. Like if I don't trust a guy and I hired him and signed his contract, and that's bad.
Yeah.
I've trusted everybody that I hired to do that job, and then then you see what happens after that. But the trust was there at the beginning, and you got to let him go and let him grow and make decisions. Then you try to help him as an old head coach of just little things here that we tweak and hey, how about this and
and he's really, really open to some different stuff, whether it's self-scout, whatever it is, whatever I can do to try to help, which has been good.
That's a daily process, hiring, especially an offensive coordinator. Every day you have to think about it, make phone calls. It takes up a lot of your time throughout in December there.
That was the worst December ever, you know? It was hard, because we were trying to sign a class too.
Right.
Started recruiting, and you're trying to hire, I've never done that before, usually I wait till after recruiting. But that was, one of those that was done early, which was not easy to make.
You said on Monday you've had no one come into your office requesting to redshirt or anything. When you saw the news that UNLV quarterbacks, the other guys requesting to transfer at this point, or redshirt at this point in the year, were you worried that would get back to your locker room and you guys were worried about that?
Not really, but you never know. But my office has been empty, which is good. And I think we got a great culture. I don't can speak on anybody else. It's none of my business. But like our team, we talk about team all the time. Our team, Stephen, and what we do, how we do it. I think that's kind of how we keep our guys together. They're locked into what we're doing, and you hope you never have any of those problems. You don't want any opt-outs, whether it's a beginning game or beginning of the season or at the end of the season. Bowl games, championship games, like it's just something that's out there nowadays. You hate to read about it, but our kids have been outstanding and we've done a good job of keeping them together. We want to continue to do that, so we hope we have no problems there.
So the toughest part about coaching these days is keeping everybody together, whether it's in season or out of season.
It is, but if you treat guys the right way and you treat them fair and you're upfront and you don't, well, I heard this, I thought you meant this, and just being honest. I think honest and trust is key with the team. And if we lose trust amongst ourselves, we got issues. But you got to have trust in a team, and that's what they talk about. Team. You're going to have your little scraps here and there, but you better trust each other. And that's kind of the way it is.
Anything final before we wrap up? Coach, thank you for your time. Everybody, thank you for